1958 DeSoto Fireflite. 9 mysterious features that shocked drivers in the 50s. Imagine you're standing on a sun-washed American boulevard in 1958. The world is obsessed with rockets, chrome, and anything that looks like it belongs in outer space. Suddenly, a machine glides past you. It's long. It's loud. It sparkles like a spaceship dipped in polished steel. And stamped across the tail fins is a name you rarely hear today. DeSoto. And the model? The Fireflite. One of the most mysterious, futuristic, and misunderstood cars ever built. A car filled with features is so strange, so ahead of their time, so utterly baffling, that even drivers in the 50s didn't know what to make of them. Tonight, we uncover 9 mysterious features hidden inside this forgotten American rocket ship. The Fireflite legend. The 1958 DeSoto Fireflite wasn't born into a quiet decade. America was racing into the future. Jet engines, atomic power, space dreams, tail fins as tall as skyscrapers. Automakers weren't just building cars, they were building fantasies on wheels. DeSoto, Chrysler's bold and rebellious division, saw the future differently. They didn't want subtlety. They didn't want elegance. They wanted impact. And in '58, they delivered their loudest, boldest masterpiece. A machine dripping with chrome, packed with strange innovations, and shaped like a sci-fi illustration come to life. But behind that sleek body were mysteries. Features that made drivers stare, mechanics scratch their heads, and collectors today still argue. Let's start peeling them back. 1. The car with a rocket nose. Walk toward the Fireflite from the front, and the first thing you notice isn't the grille. It's the rockets. Instead of a standard bumper, DeSoto designed chrome-tipped torpedo pods that looked straight out of an Air Force experiment. Rare blueprints show that the shape wasn't just style. It was tested in Chrysler's wind tunnels for directional airflow. The mystery? Why invest in aerodynamics on a car shaped like a parade float? No one knows. But the owners loved it. 2. The push-button driving system. Most cars had a gear lever. The Fireflite? It had buttons. A small dashboard pod with rectangular keys labeled drive, reverse, neutral, a low. No shifter, no column lever, just buttons. What shocked drivers was how smooth it felt. Press drive, and the car glided forward like an elevator leaving a floor. But here's the strange part. The buttons were so quiet, so effortless, that many owners thought nothing was happening and pressed them twice. Mechanics reported double engagement failures weekly. It was brilliant technology, far ahead of its era, wrapped in 50s mystery. 3. A hood larger than a sailboat deck. Pop open the hood of the '58 Fireflite, and you're not just opening a panel. You're lifting a steel aircraft carrier. The hood is so big and so heavy that 2 people were recommended to open it. Mechanics often stood inside the engine bay. Chrysler engineers reinforced it with thick framing. And beneath it, a 361 cubic inch turbo flash V8. Large, powerful, and capable of pushing the Fireflite to shocking highway speeds. Drivers in the 50s couldn't believe the combination of weight and speed. It felt impossible. Point 4. The cat-eye taillights. At night, something bizarre happened. The Fireflite's pointed taillights glowed in a way that looked almost alive, like red cat eyes watching from the darkness. Those lenses weren't accidental. DeSoto hand-designed a dual-layer acrylic that refracted light outward at sharp angles, creating a glowing halo effect. People swore the lights followed you. It became a roadside myth. Kids in the 50s called it the car with demon eyes. 5. The dashboard futurists still don't understand. Step inside the Fireflite, and the dashboard hits you like a UFO command center. Sweeping chrome, a floating instrument cluster, and a speedometer shaped like a half-moon radar screen. But the mysterious part? DeSoto installed a self-dimming headlight system tied to the dash circuitry. Years before Cadillac popularized it, it could sense approaching headlights and dim automatically. Some drivers thought the car was haunted. Others took it back to the dealership demanding to remove the ghost. 6. The power seat that was too powerful. Power seats weren't new, but the Fireflite's system wasn't normal. It used a high-torque motor designed originally for industrial equipment. One press of the button and the seat didn't move. It lunged. Owners reported sudden jolts, pinched jackets, the seat attacking me. Chrysler quietly detuned the system mid-year, but collectors still hunt for the rare early production units. the ones with the overpowered seat motor. 7. The floating ride of the torsionaire system. Here's where DeSoto went from odd to ingenious. The Fireflite used torsion bar suspension that lifted the front end and created a floating, cloud-like ride. But here's the strange twist. When pushed hard into corners, the car didn't roll like a typical 50s boat. It leaned inward, almost like a motorcycle. Drivers swore the car was correcting itself. In reality, it was geometry and torque interplay. But to a 50s commuter, it felt like magic. 8. The disappearing keys mechanism. This mysterious feature was one of Chrysler's most unusual ideas. Insert the key, turn it, and it slides deeper into the column. You can still remove it when the car is off, but while driving, the key visually vanishes into the dashboard housing. DeSoto claimed it reduced vibration, but owners thought the key fell into the dash. The ignition was broken. The car swallowed their keys. It confused nearly everyone who drove it. Dealers hated explaining it. Collectors today love it. Mysterious feature 9. The car that killed its own brand. Here's the final, strangest mystery. The 1958 Fireflite was one of DeSoto's most advanced, futuristic, heavily engineered cars. And yet, it helped destroy the brand. Why? Because the price of building these strange features, the push-button transmission, torsion suspension, heavy chrome, custom lenses, hand-shaped trim, was so high that Chrysler lost money on almost every car. The Fireflite wasn't just a machine. It was a luxury experiment gone too far. A car built with so much ambition and so little financial restraint that Chrysler quietly began shutting down DeSoto just 2 years later. Collectors call it Detroit's most beautiful self-inflicted wound. What it's like to drive one today. Slide behind the Fireflite's huge steering wheel. The chrome glows. The buttons gleam. You press drive. The car doesn't jolt. It doesn't roar. It glides, like a lounge wrapped in chrome. The V8 whispers. The suspension floats. The taillights glow like red jewels in the sunlight. People stare. Kids point. Older folks walk up with stories. Driving a 1958 DeSoto Fireflite feels like piloting a retro spaceship. It feels like a moment preserved in chrome and glass. It feels like the future imagined by the past. Why this car still matters. The Fireflite reminds us of a time when cars weren't afraid to be dramatic, when design was bold, when engineers experimented fearlessly, when imagination mattered more than budgets. This car didn't survive the market, but it survived history, because it represents something rare. A company building a car not for accountants, not for committees, but for dreamers. The 1958 DeSoto Fireflite wasn't perfect. It wasn't practical. It wasn't even profitable, but it was unforgettable. A mysterious, chrome-drenched, futuristic time capsule filled with odd features that shocked 1950s drivers and continue to amaze collectors today. So let me ask you, if you could own one strange, futuristic 50s cruiser, would the DeSoto Fireflite make your dream garage? If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like. It tells YouTube to show this to more classic car fans. Subscribe to Royale for more cinematic automotive history. And until next time, drive bold, drive classic, drive inspired.